Hi guys, it is Carrie from Secondhand Salvage. I am here to give you another quick tutorial. Many of you have asked me about my book paper flowers, so I'm going to show you how to make those today. So what I'm starting with is this cute little sign that I made with Chalk Couture, Live Simply. I did a reverse canvas on this, but there is some damage to the top. And you know me, I don't get rid of anything. So that's what we're going to camouflage with our cute little book paper flowers. You will need your hot glue gun, scissors, and some book paper. If you're anything like me and a real life crafter, my kids draw on everything. So I found a couple books that had some scribbles in them. It's great to look at yard sales, the Dollar Tree, Salvation Army, anything like that may have some damaged books for you to salvage. Okay, so if you are a template kind of person, and I am not, you can just take a spool of ribbon as your cylinder. I just kind of wing it. But if you want to do that, you'll just make a circle on your paper and then we'll cut it out. So let me show you how we're going to do that. For you template people, I'm just going to put that down, make a quick little circle around it, just enough to be able to see where my circle is. And I like to use different aged books because it gives you a different aesthetic. We're just going to cut that circle out, and don't worry if you are a kindergartner who failed at cutting like myself, no worries. You don't have to worry about it. It's really simple. So we're just going to put that to the side because we're going to use that again too. I'm going to take my circle and I'm just going to start cutting into it and rotate. So we're just kind of cutting around the circle, and depending on the size of your circle and the depth of your ring will determine the size of your rose. And I decided to start with the roses because they're the easiest to make. And we're just going to spin it around until we have a nub in the center, guys. You're going to want that nub in there because that's going to be the base. And now, guys, you take it apart and look how many simple little flowers you were able to make. And if they start falling apart, don't worry about it. Okay, so let's get started. So you're going to take that nub that we talked about, right? And we're just going to kind of bend that over because we want to make sure we don't roll that up. We're going to start on the outside. I usually just tailor my tip in, bend it in, just to give me a starting point. And then, guys, you're just going to literally roll it. And it doesn't have to be pretty, and it can be uneven, and you can crinkle it and squeeze it. It will really make its own shape. So we're just going to swirl that around, working our way to the center, guys. So easy. Once we get to that nub that we were talking about, right, guys, we're going to wait. Okay, and you can just squeeze your cone a little bit. And we're going to put some hot glue on the center of that nub, guys, because that's going to be our base. And literally, as we send that triangle and we let it loose and put the point down on that nub and let go, it'll actually spread out itself, or you can use your fingers to spread it out a little more. That simple, guys. Okay, let's do another one with some of the darker paper. I've been wanting to use this. This is so pretty. And see, it ripped, and it doesn't matter, guys, as long as you have that string of paper. And this one's going to be smaller because it has a smaller ring diameter, and it is shorter the distance that we cut between rings. So it's really fun because everyone's kind of unique and special just like we are. Okay, now once I get to that end, of course, I'm going to squeeze it. I need some base for it to sit on. Take my hot glue gun, put a dab of glue in there. And guys, you can really play with these. You can stain your paper or dye your paper or paint it before you do it so you can have different colored flowers. I kind of like the romance of using book paper with the words on it. So I like to do that. But let me show you our one with the vintage paper. Look how pretty they are, right? And it just gives you such a different dimension. Now, I talked about how we were going to use this. Guys, we're just going to take this corner and cut it into a teardrop. And guys, perfectly imperfect. We're not looking for perfection here, okay? And we're just going to squeeze this in half, right, guys? These are going to be our leaves. And look, that's not even perfect, and it doesn't need to be. Okay, let's get started. So of course I'm going to start with my leaves, and I'm just going to take my glue gun and cover a dab of glue where I want to hide. Uh-oh, crafts are falling. Okay, and because I've already bent that, it has some dimension, right? So then I'm going to go in with my first flower, and I want some contrast, so I'm going to use my lighter flower in the center because it's also bigger. And then I will take a piece of the lighter paper, the corner I have, and make a teardrop there. Teardrop leaf shape. You can kind of play around with it. You can even rip it if you like that distressed look. And then you just fold it in half again, guys. So easy. Now I want this to be 2 leaves, so I'm just going to separate those papers and glue them just like that, guys. It's really that easy. All right, so another dab of glue. And another dab of glue. And now I'm going to go in with that vintage paper, and I'm just going to kind of tuck it in behind my other one. Look how pretty that's coming out so far, right guys? Adorable. Look at those flowers. And now this is where I'm saying is you can really kind of spruce it up, give it some love if you want. You know what? Let's add another flower to the cluster real quick. And then I'll show you some coloring that we can do on it. And guys, you can use any type of coloring you want. You can use markers, you can use paint. I like to use chalk paste because that's what I use most commonly, and that way I'm assured that it's going to match the design I have on my chalkboard. But again, we're just rolling that up, guys. So easy. And I know it's kind of hard to see with my fingers in the way. We're just kind of making a cylinder here. And the roses are the easiest. I do other ones that have buttons in the center of them, so there's really so much you can do. And I'm just going to pop this one over here in the glue and let it open, because it really opens itself and kind of determines what it's going to look like. Right? And if you want, you can always add some moss in there. So I have some dollar store moss, and I'm literally just going to kind of work out from the flowers with a squiggly little piece of hot glue. I'm going to grab some of my dollar store moss that I just kind of keep around, because when you need to camouflage something, it works great. Okay, and I'm actually going to do some on the top of the frame. Looks like I need to grab some more hot glue. There it is. Because I want it, whether it's hanging on the wall or if it's on someone's desk, that they're going to get that magical kind of hidden forest feeling with our moss. So you're taking something so simple as book paper flowers with a little bit of dollar store moss, and you're really going to make something really romantic. And this would be cute on like a nightstand maybe, or if you have a creative space like a studio like I do, just a kind of little reminder that keep things simple. And all right, almost done, guys. I'm just finessing and placing. You know, I'm one of those people that I could be finicky and sit here all day with it, but I kind of really just like to throw it on. It gives it more of an organic feel. Haven't burned myself yet, knock on wood. Okay, and guys, a little pro tip: when you have strings hanging off of it, just hit it with the blow dryer. They crinkle right up and go away. Okay guys, so look how pretty that design is. Live simply. And we have our book paper flowers, a little bit of moss from the Dollar Tree. Well guys, thank you again for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed the book paper flower tutorial, and look forward to other tutorials on my YouTube channel. Alright guys, have a great day. Bye.